damn it. What do I need to do? Ambrosia, Chapter Act 2. Why is this one to the left? I always thought that every single quest to the left would be the one available. But no, I gotta do the Raiden Shogun one first before I do the Yai Miko. Alright, fine. Do the Raiden Shogun one first before I do Yai Miko. Cleansing Light. The Adventurers Guild in Inazuma seems to have commissioned concerning the Sacred Sakura. It's always about Sakura or something magical or anything related to Japanese folklore or just stuff in Japan. What do I expect? It's gonna be a Japanese related thing or Japanland Inazuma related thing. What do you got for me this time? What is it? Is it more of the Raiden Shogun? More of the same? Does she want to go for...
Astra
Shut up!
The Adventurers Guild has received an unusual commission, and after careful consideration, we believe that...
The Traveler would be the most suitable candidate, right?
Wow. Wow, Paimon is doing my job for me. Okay, fine. I almost thought that, I don't know. It actually happened again.
Indeed, as ever.
Repeat yourself all the time. But you know what? I probably wasn't to blame as well.
I will spare the pleasantries then. May I ask if you two are available to help?
Yes.
Well, let me go over it briefly. Our client for this job is the Yashiro Commission. Apparently, Rift Hounds are attacking the roots of the sacred Sakura nearby Mount Yogo in great numbers.
Rift Hounds?
Rift Hounds? A Narukami I...
Yes. We are not sure where exactly these creatures come from. But this time, they are attacking in alarming numbers with great aggression and a clear target.
You don't sound alarmed to me, given your very calm and, like, stoic demeanor.
The sacred Sakura is of tremendous importance to Inazuma. I trust you are aware of this already?
No, well, maybe, but it's been a while, but...
Good. Then you can see that this case is very urgent indeed.
I forgot why the Sakura is very important. I don't know, it was probably from an earlier quest. I'm sure Patrick will come back and give a flashback as to why, but I've gone through several things before getting to this story quest, so my memory's hazy.
Is the Tenryu Commission aware?
Yes, and they are already taking action of their own. However, given that the sacred Sakura's root system is vast and complex, and faced with the unpredictability and scale of the Rift Hound's attacks, they are finding it difficult to defend against them.
Root system? Like a... I think this is the chasm that Patrick was talking about during the actual chasm.
Their main priority is to protect the civilian population, so they are actively looking to co-opt. The Adventurers Guild is one of the key parties assisting the Tenryu Commission with their work. But so far, the combined efforts to combat the Rift Hounds has failed to substantially ameliorate the situation.
We're the only ones qualified, but we're not able to handle them, cliché.
You have our deepest gratitude. Your confident response puts me far more at ease.
You don't sound at ease, but that's just me.
I will mark on your map the areas where Rift Hound appearances have been recently reported. I hope you won't encounter too much trouble overcoming them.
I hope it's not too hard for you. Okay.
Relax. We'll be back before you can say Ad Astra up.
And then she actually did. I feel like Catherine is dull. Okay, can I drop it last second?
You're attacking
Yes.
Sacred Sakura! Stop them!
Shoot! Shite! Shot! Oh dang it, these characters are weak. Maybe I shouldn't have, Actually, maybe I can.
Submit for judgment. Spirit Blade, attack!
Seriously, shut up, damn it. Oh, crap! What is that? And down.
Many of them!
Oh my god!
The Tenryu Commission needed help. Come on, Traveler, you can take them!
Oh god, you're gonna give me a hard time, aren't you?
A touch of frost.
Oh, I thought I was done, but no, I'm not done.
One eternity later.
Come on! I need to remember. Oh. And they don't stop coming. Goddamn shadow hounds.
To oblivion.
Okay. So the Raiden Shogun showed up.
Wait, no. Could also be A.
Oh, it's you two.
Nope, it's Raiden Shogun.
It's been a long time. We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryou Commission crisis.
Hmm.
Okay, sounds more like A. It is you, right? You sure made short work of them. That was amazing.
What brings you out this time?
I'm making early preparations for what is to come.
Eternity?
Last time we took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able to comprehend some things that I had never understood in the past.
Such as?
Since then, every time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking, I find myself having the urge to spend some time in the outside world.
Oh, so in other words, you're like, I don't want to be stuck in the inside world, I kind of want to come outside for a bit.
Makes sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all...
Might I remind you that I am not here to amuse myself.
I didn't say you are, but... My question doesn't mean you have to amuse yourself. My question is like, what is your reason?
Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. The most serious of these being the attack on the sacred Sakura by numerous rift hounds.
Yes?
I considered this matter worthy of my attention, so I pursued them, and they led me here, where I happened to run into you.
And why would you be here if the Tenryou Commission and the Ashura Mission are doing it?
If the Shogun rather than I were to discover them, yes, perhaps she would have left the situation alone.
Why?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated to the Tri-Commission.
In other words, if you revert to your puppet state, you're just gonna default to being an administrator that has nothing to do with anything.
But rift hounds attacking the sacred Sakura. It brings back bad memories of that terrible disaster.
What disaster?
A disaster?
Yes. 500 years ago, a great catastrophe befell Inazuma.
What? I don't know, I'm like, I feel like I'm on the same level of hers, like, oh, it's all happening again! What happened back then?
Everything was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land.
Oh, yeah.
Countless lives were lost, and this homeland that the people had worked so hard to build barely escaped being obliterated entirely.
I feel, I don't know if there's an actual, like, Japanese folklore to go back to it, but it just sounds like monsters came and attacked way back when, so to speak. So, I don't know.
The monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil, and the Rift Hounds were always their advance guard.
So the Rift Hounds were actually allies, not enemies?
Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call in even more powerful beasts.
Same time as Conria?
So you've heard of it too?
Yes!
That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. Maybe to you, it seems like my response to these creatures was an excessive one.
You think?
But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
You can never be too careful.
Guess you can't argue with that.
Since we are both here for the same reason, let us work together.
Okay!
From the traces they've left in the surrounding area, there should be many more monsters nearby. All of them must be eliminated.
In other words, the Raiden Shogun has gone strictly into killing mode.
Paimon feels so safe
Or
when
A.
you're in Ace Company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kind of makes you feel invincible, doesn't it?
It's pretty much an opposite given what we've dealt with in the past.
Oh yeah, after we've dealt with the monsters, we should ask her to tell us more about Conria.
Why is Conria brought up here? I know it's not the 7 nations, but it's like a, I don't know, an 8th nation or a special one.
This color, similar to the color when the sacred Sakura takes damage.
I need to change my party. I need my A team. I need my best team with me. So Chi-Chi's on. Chi-Chi there. Because why not? God.
Let's
Also gotta
follow
heal.
it. It should be this way.
Where? What should be which way? Here? No. Look for the marks left behind. What am I looking for? I don't know. Things. Oh, the blood stains! My God, I'm stupid. I just looked at the frickin' white arrow, and I'm like, why am I following the white arrow? And then I'm like, oh, that's why I'm following the white arrow. Figure out what happened. What?
We are lucky. The damage is not too serious. The Yashiro Commission will be able to nurse the root system back to health.
So we have figured out.
This stuff that's flowing out, is it sap or something? And how come it's glowing?
It's just glowed right now. What?
What's this? Could they be dead people? It wouldn't be the first time we'd seen ghosts on our journey.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
But why did they appear here?
I like how Paimon says it wouldn't be the first time we saw them.
Let's search the area. Perhaps we will find out.
You're getting smarter. Oh, I'm dead. I'm also injured at the same time. How can this be?
I can't go on like this. Not when the other troops are counting on me.
Given what we've seen so far, you technically didn't go on at all.
What happened here?
Who are you? What are you doing here? Run quick while you still can. The monsters will be back. And once you're in their sights, I'm telling you there's no escaping them. We will defend Inazuma until our dying breath.
What monsters?
You don't know? Inazuma is engulfed in darkness.
Is this like a moment where there's like a rift in time where we're communicating with the past instead of a memory?
Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. They're merciless, ferocious, and they will devour everything in their path. Every last trace of humanity's existence, I tell you. They'll devour it all.
Okay.
But look, none of that seems to be going on around here.
Yeah, well, technically there were the Rift Hounds, but they were supposed to help us?
Not right now, but they'll be back. Look, get out of here. Now, there's no time left.
Jikanganai!
The Almighty Shogun is gone. So is Kitsune Saigu. There is no one left to rely on but ourselves.
Also, Jikanganai means no time left in Japanese.
I don't know how long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then we've got nothing left at all.
Your hope?
Don't worry, I'm right here.
Ooh.
It's the Shogun? You're back.
Yes, it is.
Please, we beg you. You have to help us. You have to save Inazuma.
Ooh, is this like memories? Because the Raiden Shogun got close to the root, and I'm wondering if these are memories from the Raiden Shogun, or like a rift in time.
Only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please, or the whole of Inazuma will be reduced to a hunting ground for the beasts.
Calm down. The war you speak of is over.
So these are ghosts.
Over? But what do you mean?
You're
Shogun.
dead. You're dead.
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows. This is Inazuma at peace, as you will no doubt remember.
So some spirits have not rested over time.
There are no monsters, nor is there anything else here that could threaten your life.
What?
He's like, huh?
But how? Just moments ago, they were everywhere. I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with my own eyes.
Hey, calm down. Everything's fine.
Huh. I think I understand. Almighty Shogun, you saved Inazuma. Yes, we were right to place our trust. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Now he realizes.
Thank you.
Now he realizes he's dead.
What's wrong with him?
Is he disappearing? Yes, he
He's
is.
gone.
Paimon can't even begin to understand what that was all about. But somehow, Paimon feels all sad
I think the only way I could possibly understand it is because the Rift Hounds were going after the roots, that kind of upset some of the spirits, or memories, or whatever the hell it was, that are adjacent, or maybe some of the people who died in the vicinity of the Sakura tree, their essence became part of the Sakura tree, and that's what the glowing stuff is. I don't know. I'm thinking too much anyway.
If I am not mistaken, what we just saw was a samurai's memory that was buried in the land.
Ooh, so I was right. People who died and memories that were brought back. You're putting on your thinking cap.
The sacred Sakura can absorb and purify the filth in the ley lines. After the Rift Hounds attacked, some of this filth leaked out through the cracks in the trunk and formed a physical entity.
Okay, so it is exactly what almost exactly what I said. This idea that the dead samurai, their memories came back because some part of it came out of the Sakura tree roots.
An entity formed with strong filth would be highly aggressive. But when purified, it presents in the form of a memory.
Memory and aggressive filth?
Purified filth quickly dissipates and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words, it cannot exist for too long.
The same thing happened to Dusking Ming. I can't remember who Dusking Ming is. You're probably going to have to put a flashback in there, Patrick, just to remind me.
So the memories of the ones that died are all appearing at this moment?
Yes.
Yes. That soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now was precisely the disaster that happened in Inazuma 500 years ago.
The same time you just tried to go for eternity?
Yes. Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time. Some were local in origin, while others came from the now fallen kingdom of Kanria. The disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late, otherwise it would spread to all of Teyvat.
It almost reminds me of what I had to do several months ago in my own server, and I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about, Patrick.
But my friend, Kitsune Saiku, reassured me that I had nothing to worry about. She would shoulder the responsibility of protecting Inazuma and mobilize all forces at her disposal to combat the threat.
Kitsune Saigu. Is that the Yae Miku, or is that a different person?
I could tell that, although neither of us acknowledged it, we both knew that the road ahead would likely end in tragedy.
Because you did mention... This is 500 years ago, so... And Yaemiko is, in fact, a follower of the Raiden Shogun. Different Kitsune. Okay. Because I'm wondering if it was the same, because... I don't know.
So, Inazuma was attacked at the same time as when the disaster happened in Kanria?
Indeed. Countless monsters suddenly appeared throughout all of Inazuma. In the end, Kitsune Saigu sacrificed her life to protect the people.
Okay, something tells me we're actually gonna see Kitsune Saigu?
I never had the chance to see her one last time. But I would like to believe that she kept her promise to me until the very last.
Uh-huh, what promise?
But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have ever imagined. Those terrible tragedies left great wounds that are still felt to this day, both on the land itself and in my heart.
Because victory often comes at such a great price.
Hey.
Isn't it the loss that Yaemiko mentioned?
Yes. For the longest time, I couldn't bring myself to face the pain of that loss. All my martial might was in vain. Though I could conquer Tatarigami and vanquish monsters, I was helpless against the ravages of time, powerless to keep the ones I cherished alive.
Which is why you decided to seek eternity. In some way or another.
But after my clash with human ambition, I thought long and hard. Now I realize I cannot fixate on the past forever.
Good.
When I traveled around Inazuma with you, I caught a glimpse of how the nation has progressed over the centuries. A glimpse of human potential. Everything far exceeded my expectations.
What kind of expectations did you even have at that time, which were so limited? And why did you even have limited expectations?
Moving forward inevitably invites further loss, but also new encounters. Just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, he still chose to keep fighting for the sake of moving forward.
Which is kind of different from you and your moments of eternity, because you tried to move forward without losing something, but there's always going to be loss somewhere.
All those who sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future. But perhaps the future they were hoping for is not the eternity that I once strove for.
That's what being human is all about, and what do you expect? And why did you even try to go for eternity in the first place? You tried to find a way to move forward without loss, but progress without loss is kinda impossible.
As Inazuma's god, it is high time I honored their wishes. Warriors of the past, who spilled your blood on this land.
She's the god of eternity.
Your noble souls now rest in this earth.
The god of someone who just seeks the end of time and the end of all things.
I will never forget you, and all that you did for Inazuma.
He's taking all this pretty hard.
Yeah, well, considering the fact that she had to go through all of it back then, it takes a while to process all that crap from way back when.
Come on. Let's keep investigating the damage to the sacred Sakura.
Ah, God, that frickin' tree. From all the way back down here. The frickin' tree that goes all the way down here. Need it? Why?
There are a load of rift hounds here too.
What? Why? Dang
Leave
it.
them to me.
Ah, dang it.
Now you shall perish.
Now she'll pull this sword out of my chest and kill you all. Where you at? Where you at? Who's where? There you are at.
Illusion shattered.
Lightning slash. Ooh. Ah, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Get, sket, and... I feel like she's gotten slightly... Maybe?
Torn to oblivion.
21k. Yeah.
Huh? Something seems wrong with A.
She's reliving those moments every single time. Or no, wait. The Rift Hounds were originally allies, and she had to kill them off. Now it's all coming back to her.
Why would you ask that?
Well, usually you'd pull out your sword and swish! Vaporize them all in one go! No?
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy.
For what?
Although I have some understanding of the situation already, it could take an unexpected turn at any time. I must be prepared for anything. If there are more formidable monsters lying in wait in this area, I must make sure I have the strength to face them.
So you're holding back because you're expecting more of them to show up, or a lot stronger?
Ah, makes sense. The roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely need to tell the Yashiro Commission about this. Hey, the same light is leaking out again.
It's the same situation as before. Yes, we're gonna find more memories.
Furuyama? Is that you?
Almighty Shogun, what brings you back so soon? I thought you were off fighting a battle in a distant land.
Fighting a battle in a distant land? Sounds like this guy's talking about 500 years ago, too.
Allow me to introduce Furuyama. He is a tea master and a member of my retinue.
Almost like one of the other members from Shenyu Vale.
Though blind, Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to appraise tea. He brews some of the very finest tea in all of Inazuma.
Okay.
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in your Excellency's presence long enough to become acquainted with all the skills that are required of me.
Okay.
It sounds like the almighty Shogun has brought a guest.
Yes.
I'm afraid I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the current situation. But please, sit and rest. After all, it's quite a mess out there.
No it isn't, but the fact that you don't realize that, that's something else I have to convince you as well.
What should we do?
I want to learn more about the past.
Yeah.
I see. So, they have fought their way this far already. Most of the residents in this neighborhood have already escaped. They wanted to take me with them,
Not bad, just
but it
woke
seemed
up.
rather pointless to me. So, I decided to stay.
Because fighting is meaningless, so why fight?
And now the almighty Shogun is here, I have even less reason to run away. Imagine if this was something that even the almighty Shogun was powerless to resolve. Where could I possibly run to then?
And why are you not scared?
People flee out of a desire to live on. And the desire to live on stems from a feeling of having unfinished business in life.
Maybe? Is there ever a desire to move on even without unfinished business? Or are you just gonna pull off this Casper logic right here?
But me, I have no such thoughts, and I have no regrets.
So you don't want to fight or run?
The almighty Shogun often speaks to me about her dreams over tea. Just listening to her stories. I've been blind for many years, but her vivid descriptions took me on a splendid journey to all the most beautiful places in Inazuma. Over time, I've come to understand her mindset. Quite the romantic at heart. A true dreamer.
So in other words, the Raiden Shogun back then is a lot different than the Raiden Shogun today? If so, why?
One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes, fades, disappears completely over the passage of time. And so, people must make the most of the life they have, seize the chance to enjoy it while it lasts, and have no regrets in the end.
So she was scared that things would change and she didn't want to change with it. So that's why she sought eternity. This doesn't fit the definition of eternity. Gray, what was your favorite character then?
So you see, as bleak as things may be now,
Favorite
I have
character?
experienced countless wonderful things in life, and have no reason not to be satisfied.
Perhaps you are right.
It won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the almighty Shogun for the last time. What a pity. I'll never get to see what Inazuma looks like after the almighty Shogun rebuilds it anew.
Yo, you won't get to see anything at all, concerning the fact that you're blind.
But I suppose it doesn't matter. Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now. But to me, it went dark a long time ago. Once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But even if I survived until then, I'd probably be a hopelessly befuddled old so-and-so by then.
As if you are
So-
now.
Oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me rambling away to my heart's content. The almighty
Yes.
Shogun comes to visit and I don't have the tea ready. A truly egregious loss of decorum.
Yes, it is loss of decorum.
One moment, I'll just... Where in the world is the tea set? I hope the others didn't smash it to smithereens in their hasty departure.
No, it's just that, how can you convince a blind dead person that they're dead?
Can't see a tea set anywhere.
Really? But it's always been right by my side. Goodness gracious, what a fool I'm making of myself. I couldn't possibly have my guests fetch it themselves. That would be most discourteous indeed.
Don't worry about it. Take a rest. We'll be back right away.
Almighty Shogun, you're not going too, are you? No. Your humble servant implores you, not with
That's
the
cool.
war raging outside.
This place is complicated. It's quite unlike the tea house in your memories.
Yes, it's different.
Leave it to us.
But, well, okay. I never thought I'd see the day that I need the almighty Shogun to personally collect my tea set for me.
Because you always see yourself as a lesser, and you never get the lesser to do stuff for you, and you never expected the Raiden Shogun to do the work of that, which is the lesser.
I can't decide whether it's a final regret or a final stroke of good fortune.
Where should we go to find a tea set? Having a cup of tea isn't exactly the most urgent thing to do right now, but at the same time, this lovely old man from 500 years ago has been through so much, and it makes Paimon so sad.
You're all most of the time sad.
Feeling very nostalgic for his tea.
Oh,
Okay.
why don't we go to the Kamisato estate? There'll definitely be a tea set we can borrow there.
Funny how when you're saying you're a digital artist,
It's the Traveler. And the almighty Shogun.
you're just like, nope, not gonna say anything.
How might I be of assistance, Your Excellence?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Oh, sure. Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord—
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer—
No. I am your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
Okay.
Well, it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure you must have a lot of questions.
Was it really you that the tea master used to serve?
Right. Paimon wanted to ask that too. The almighty Shogun that he described didn't sound anything like you at all.
Why the change of personality? But then again... Well, obviously she did have a change of personality from, like, the last story quest involving her. But I'm just wondering, like, why... I don't know.
I seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent practicing martial arts.
Any free time I had was spent practicing the sword arts. Why else would you pull a giant purple katana right out of your chest?
So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for was the former Electro Archon, who was also my sister, Raiden Makoto.
Raiden Makoto.
He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it.
So, why didn't he mention that?
The philosophy of life that he shared with us just now, that was Makoto's view on reality. She always saw things that way.
You and Makoto had pretty different views, huh?
Lore drop! So we actually get a backstory on Makoto.
Indeed we did. It was the biggest difference between us.
So Makoto was the dreamer and you were the putter sleeper to her.
In her eyes, the most precious things in this world were dreams. The yearning for a better future held by living beings.
It almost reminds me of my sister and the things she liked and how I picked up off of some of the things she did.
They are similar, but not identical.
Funny how one picks up after the other.
When you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the form of countless stars. This somewhat shook me.
It also shook me as well.
Now, it seems like she was right, while I took the wayward path.
Because you got stuck in your inner world based off the actions and the thought process that led you there in the first place?
Wow. There sure was a lot going on beneath the surface.
Yes. Inner rage. And whatever the Mulan lyrics have to offer at this point.
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her view, a dream is more imaginary, more abstract than an ambition.
Yeah, well, dreams are in fact abstract.
An ambition is a yearning for something material or a concrete outcome. It is finite in nature, and will be replaced by a new ambition in due course.
Quite different than the idea of a dream where you're in an abstract, where abstracts can be infinite.
Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place. It is something innate, rooted in instinct. In other words, it is something eternal.
Which is closer to what she got than what you did.
To put it simply, Makoto wasn't concerned about outcomes.
She was concerned with the process.
I didn't understand at the time. How can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and evolving? I suppose what it comes down to is the definition of eternity she set out with.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. I always thought that she must have grasped some elusive, arcane wisdom to arrive at the conclusions she did.
She's like, it must be magic!
But in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, an elegantly simple one. Notwithstanding that it was also the more prudent choice, based on a more mature, far-sighted outlook.
So she was leagues ahead of you back in the day, but you were just slightly behind?
Do you feel you're starting to understand her better now?
Almost. It reminds me of my sister again, who got like 80s and 90s in math and English, and yet here I am being so goddamn stupid! But taking over for what she was.
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity, but now I no longer cling to what was lost. I suppose that means our differences have been reconciled.
Then how do you explain being ready for monsters in that earlier episode, or the earlier moments?
Almighty Shogun, I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your excellency's use.
It's quite beautiful.
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude.
It's all good, sir.
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama waiting too long.
She's acting chill. As if you expect her to just kill anybody that steps in front of her. God. Go to where the Tea Master is, because we have to cleanse a soul. Now. Where is he?
Hey, where'd he go? He wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set himself, would he?
Or maybe he didn't get too far?
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very long. As was the case with the memory we...
So we won't get to drink his tea? We didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
You're always sad.
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with was a miracle of fate.
Purple stuff? Or blue stuff? Yes, cheer up and stop being sad. It's almost funny to me.
Well, this chance won't come often, and we do have a tea set. Perhaps I should try my... I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many occasions. I doubt I should have any major problems doing it myself.
Are you sure you're not a little rusty? I'm piping hot tea with the tea set.
The tea is ready. Please give it a try.
Right under a sakura tree.
So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. I'm not sure how to explain it.
Then don't.
You're right. But the things we've seen today have brought back many memories for me.
Yeah, well, you said you've reconciled that which you don't cling on to, or something like that. But you kinda are clinging on to something else.
I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu, Makoto, and all the other friends who I watched pass even further back.
Yeah, it's like going from one generation to the next, and you have memories of what happened before, and then you go on to the next thing. It's like being in a late stage of your life looking back at a much earlier stage.
Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation reasonably lighthearted. But now, I'd like to broach a heavier topic, if I may.
I'd just like to lay it out on you and possibly air out some dirty laundry.
The events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend, Kitsune Saigu, they also took Makoto away from me.
She died in that disaster too.
Yes. She went to Conria alone, without telling me. Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her but this time, the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me, put herself in front of me, so that I would remain hidden. In any case, by the time I realized what was happening...
Long list of sentences. Also the idea of her being like the ultimate canary in the coal mine metaphor here. She was the ultimate canary in the coal mine metaphor. She took the hits so I wouldn't have to.
Yes. It was too late. She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point. So all I could do was enter into her mind. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell. I cried bitterly. Why did she go to Conria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me?
I don't know if I can take a similar example from a previous story quest, the Arataki Ito, where someone took the hit and someone got off scot-free. Maybe it was a sense of relationship, or maybe their reasons are different. There's like a hidden theme where someone's going to take the hit and someone's going to get off scot-free. Someone's going to play the Jesus role and everybody else gets off.
It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely and brought it back to Inazuma.
So, her idea of consciousness, so you preserved the plane of Athenia, which was her consciousness?
That's quite a story.
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo. The tree that you know as the sacred sakura.
Why?
That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and couldn't at all understand what I was so surprised about.
Why did the tree appear out of nowhere?
No one questioned it. And yet, its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. It seemed as if I was the only one to have noticed it appear suddenly out of thin air.
You know what? When you're stuck in your own head and you look at like the world changing from 500 years and maybe possibly more than that, it's like you look at Google pictures of apartment buildings being built over time from decades, like, it's true! There! Apartment building! Just like a new tree.
In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of Makoto's consciousness.
I look at things a weird way.
With the help of the sacred Sakura's power, I was finally able to overcome the monsters and quell the disaster in Inazuma.
And then suddenly a tree appeared, and then everyone was saved because of the power from said tree. The end.
This is all really hard to understand. Kinda beyond Paimon's level.
I don't know, like, I would say because the Raiden Shogun is like several hundred years old, Like, of course there are going to be things that are beyond the understanding of someone who's been around for a while. But I don't know if you're older or younger than the Raiden Shogun to be, like, experienced or innocence. But given that, like, the Raiden Shogun has been through a lot, it's understandable.
Yes. She had such a great love for this land, and for its people. In this respect, I still do not compare to her.
We went from A having no emotions to A having emotions.
I once told myself that I would never speak of these events again. Facing the fact that she is gone is unbearably painful.
Never say never, because there's always going to be a situation where said never is going to happen again.
But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue, once swallowed, leaves some sweetness in the throat.
In other words, you're using that as a metaphor for Makoto going away. The idea of a silver lining to the tea.
And it's time I came to terms with it all.
It's time I find the silver lining in the pain of loss as well.
Oh, while we're on the topic, since you experienced that battle in person...
Does the Raiden Shogun know? No, she probably doesn't.
Brother. I had heard that you were looking for your family.
How you know, I wonder, but who cares?
You mean to say that he was somehow involved in the Conria disaster?
Wait, what? Was he actually involved in the Conria disaster?
Based on what we've learned so far, it seems so, yeah.
I can't remember what story it was, or what cutscene it was, but Patrick, you're gonna have to put a flashback in there to jog everybody's memory.
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing. By the time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over.
She doesn't know.
And also, my mind was consumed entirely with the plight of Inazuma, and the fate of those closest to me.
My mind was broken! There's no way I could remember anything!
So, I am afraid I can't help you.
I am afraid I can't help you, cliché.
Oh, well, that's a shame. But it can't be helped, I guess.
No, I cannot. And I know there's a saying in Japanese called Shogun, which means cannot be helped. And that's pretty much what the Raiden Shogun's name does imply.
Boy, both of you have experienced great tragedy.
Yes.
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the Tea Master's memory.
Okay.
Thank you,
Is he gonna show up?
Destiny, for giving us the chance to meet again.
Thank you, Destiny, for allowing me to remember a thing I probably couldn't remember. God.
We should go. Let's keep following the traces.
Very well.
Where?
Based on my investigation so far, I believe this next
God.
pack of monsters should be the last.
And elsewhere. Okay. And I saw them in front of me.
Once again, please leave them to me.
Fine!
Hey! Are you sure you're alright? You...
Fear not. Fighting is what I do best.
And yet, you're fearful of something. Alright. Illusion shattered!
There is no escape!
There we go. You get here and smackety smackety smack smackety waggity 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 waggity. Yes, I make weird noises. That's just me. Smack, 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 and there you go. I have perfected my sword technique. What? How did it?
You alright?
What happened? Why did it happen? You're not frozen? No, you're not.
Illusion shattered!
There we go.
Inazuma shines eternal!
Done. Ah, damn it. More of them. Get over here. Get over here. Get over here. Damn it. Why am I frozen? Stop freezing. Get over here. You're stuck up there. Get down here. I don't want to... screw it. I gotta go. Oh, you're gonna come over there. Oh, the second I go up there, you come down here.
No escape!
Oh, I see how it is. Oh, I see how it is. You're gonna use your fear on me? Man.
Remove all obstacles.
Yep. Oop. What happened? Oh, I saw my health go down by like a lot.
Hey, maybe you should leave this one to us.
Don't force it. I know you're strict. You're strict, but sometimes you shouldn't like fall apart.
My apologies.
So you do cling on to something.
Don't worry about it. Just we'll deal with the monster.
Who?
Look, that's the same light again.
Time for another trip down memory lane. Are the memories gonna fight the monsters?
Where am I? Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too. Are you injured, Your Excellency?
What happened to the monsters? They came at us, and then they didn't come at us.
I'm quite alright. Just feeling a little...
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end.
Okay, so they're still there.
Come on, men. They're coming back for more. Let's get them.
Don't! It's too dangerous.
Danger is our duty, ma'am. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms to begin with.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak, we will draw on the power granted to us by the gods.
Unless you have a vision or something, I don't know what you mean about power granted by the gods.
Is that a vision?
It is.
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us.
So the Shogunate's army had visions back then, but why did the Vision Hunt Decree happen? Oh yeah, because... I remember, because she didn't want people being, like, sacrificed because of power. So maybe it's because the Vision Hunt Decree was an example of, like, the painful, or just overcoming the painful memories that the Raiden Shogun originally came up with.
If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for us to honor that.
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
Unwavering commitment of the resistance.
Nobody knew where Your Excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. You're right here with us.
And we're gonna stand here and keep the monsters at bay, even though everybody's gonna stand there.
Just the sight of you appearing before us once more has reignited the hope in our hearts. This hope is the light that will guide us out from the darkness.
Everyone, on me!
We'll help too!
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
Okay. So we gotta fight these guys with our A-team.
The Almighty Shogun!
Oh, come on. Done!
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
I've never fought so fiercely before.
Thank you all.
Are you okay?
She's like,
Maybe you should keep resting.
Arigato, minasan.
I'm fine. I feel much better already.
You fought phenomenally. It was truly awe-inspiring. The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few Rift Hounds this time. Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the General's forces as soon as possible.
When everyone sees the Almighty Shogun safely returning, their spirits will be lifted.
Well, what are you guys gonna do?
We will stay here and guard against the monsters' advance. We cannot afford to let them get any further.
Okay, so the memories are gonna stick around and help us
We are
out.
brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters that come our way.
Is it a good idea to let spirits roam? Every minute to took the reality they're experiencing.
Just leave it to us. Fighting is what we do best. But the Almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affairs. Only Her Excellency can turn back the tide of despair and lead us onward into the future.
All that expectation placed on her.
No matter what kind of threat faces Inazuma, we will always place our faith in the Almighty Shogun.
Thank you all very much. I promise you that I will create a bright future for Inazuma. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I shall be true to my word.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live.
Yes, as long as you live. But are you gonna start doubting as soon as you die?
With you leading us, we will claim back everything that Inazuma has lost.
Which is?
Glory to the Shogun!
Glory to the Shogun!
They're gone.
Yeah. Was that a promise to them or to yourself? This is really the entendre we're dealing with.
It was both.
Okay.
The people's sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, I overlooked their splendor. The grief blinded me to how brightly they shone in their final moments. The result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will. You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but disembodied memories held in the ley lines. But even so, they are due a resolution. I owe it to them, and to all the people who have placed their faith in me to date.
Well, Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years later, you're doing right by them now, and that's what counts.
By facing those monsters, so why do you keep thinking you screwed over yourself?
Thank you for your comforting words. But this is my basic duty as Inazuma's Archon, and I have neglected it for far too long.
Being there for everybody.
I used to think just like that samurai, that I was first and foremost a warrior, and my only duty was to face whatever challenge came my way.
And somewhere down the line you changed your mind.
But what Inazuma needs more than a warrior is someone like Makoto.
Someone who's not stoic and fierce or stern, but basically your sister who is a little bit more kind.
Even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still need to do the things that she would have done. Yes, they are. They are strong and resilient, and have much to be proud of. As the Raiden Shogun they revere, I should not be the one to hold them back.
Well said. Sounds to Paimon like you figured things out.
Change will come to Inazuma, and with it, new possibilities. This will take time, but eventually, the future will bring healing to the scars of the past.
Yeah, in other words, it's a basic motif where time heals all wounds. But I really wonder if time healed this gigantic wound.
No matter how long it takes, I am committed to bringing this to fruition. This is my promise.
Okay.
Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, this matter is halfway resolved. It does not appear that the threat will escalate for the time being.
Why are the Rift Hounds coming up, and why are they giving everybody a hard time? Why? Were they originally allies at one point? And they're turning up against us? Or did I read the previous sentence wrong?
I will leave the Tenryou and Yashiro commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigating the origins of this incident and tending to the root system.
In other words, we're probably not going to find out in this story quest.
Alrighty then, let's move on.
Good.
She looks calm on the outside, but Paimon bets her emotions must be all over the place right now, huh?
Given how much she's handling back then, and she's constantly, well, not constantly, that she's being reminded of it now, of course it's all going to be brought up.
She seems to have changed a lot since we last met her.
Yeah, she changed her personality from the stern, stoic person that she was back then to almost encompassing and enveloping some of the emotions that her sister Makoto once had.
Huh? What's wrong, eh? Come on, keep up.
She's still fearful.
What's going on? Are you feeling unwell again?
And the seasons changed.
My body... I can't move it.
Why?
It looks like the situation. No need. She is calling me. The time has come.
Who's she? Hakoto or?
I need to go to the cave below the Grand Narukami Shrine.
Why? What's the name?
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the past. And
Okay. And go one with the future. Okay.
we're finally here. The entrance.
Well, the entrance is definitely there. A portal just appeared.
Whoa! Where'd the Torii Gate come from?
It just came out of nowhere. Just like the reasoning out of this game.
Getting worse again. This is a place I once sealed off with my own hands. The entrance to Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness.
See, this is her conscious.
It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this body.
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is she? Where are we
Where we go? And then it happened. You're gonna find out.